Since thousands of years ago until nowadays, an enormous number of disasters have attacked our planet, either from natural disasters or disasters made by humans. In addition to the degeneration made by humans intentionally or not, as considered to be the humans are the major cause of distorting the planet. Now let's take a look on this newsletter which displays some of the disasters. As well as the survey we did, we figured out that more than 50% of the people would immigrate to other planets if they have the chance due to the inability to adapt anymore in this mess.
We live in real disaster, either if it's natural or because of the human. 2020 has not started off too well. It really seems like has been nothing but one disaster after another. There are many disasters and problems that happen in 2020, and there's some of them. First, the Australian bushfire, floods in Indonesia and India, a volcano eruption in the Philippines, earthquakes in Turkey, China, India, Iran, Russia, Philippines, and the Caribbean, a locust swarm in East Africa and parts of India and Asia, the cyclone Amphan in India and Bangladesh, snow in Antarctica turns green, and finally the coronavirus. In addition to the previous disasters that happened, but there are some other potential disasters in waiting for that might shake humans. Something like a massive solar storm, or maybe the EU could collapse, and the craziest thing might happen, the Third World War, and more. Maybe it is the worst year ever. Who knows what will be happened next? With these bad reasons, people are looking for another planet that may one day be savior than the Earth.
We look at reality in order to live, not to go at the end of the day as a residue of development and environmental pollution, which increases every day more than the previous one, and threatens life and threatens us with extinction, as a result of the huge increase in the number of people in the world today. Where will we reach? In the end, is it possible for the planet Earth to absorb us? We will not remain for the fait accompli, but rather we will explore life on planets similar to Earth in order not to fill the Earth with people above its natural ability, as the rates of urban sprawl are increasing tremendously in these years than before, and also the number of cars exceeds billions in each country, and this generates massive pollution in the air. So will it remain Earth's atmosphere as it was before? And also when we look at the wars that surround countries, especially the Middle East, from the Israel aggression on Gaza and the constant bombing of it, as well as the wars in Syria, Yemen and Iraq, and the toxic elements that these wars leave in the air that kill us without our awareness of them, and also in addition to the atomic and nuclear bomb tests from the biggest countries. And what about this produce an atmosphere full of viruses and many diseases, and the only victims of which are all humanity? If we look recently at what happened in the Beirut port explosion and what it left behind from the great casualties, if we look on the other hand, we are talking about the explosion of 2,700 tons of ammonium nitrate, a highly explosive and toxic substance whose particles were scattered with particles of broken glass in the atmosphere and transported through the air to neighboring countries. Can we count what diseases and viruses that can result from them, and many other natural disasters and climate fluctuations? For how long will this planet absorb us?
One day, the Earth will be destroyed completely. Where will you go? How you will survive? Well, don't worry, cause we found some new Earth-like planets as a backup plan, where we can live, or at least be able to survive. All these planets in the list also known as a super Earth. 10. Kepler 438b has an Earth similarity index of 88%. 9. Kepler 452b has Earth similarity index 84%. 8. Proxima b, Earth similarity index of 87%. 7. Kepler 186f has an Earth similarity index 61%. 6. Kepler 62f Earth Similarity Index 67%. 5. Glias 667 cc has an Earth Similarity Index 85%. 4. Kepler 62e Earth Similarity Index 83%. 3. Glias 581g has Earth Similarity Index 94%. 2. Kepler 22b with Earth Similarity Index 71%. And finally, Mars with Earth Similarity Index 73%.
As a result of many discoveries and conclusions, it was concluded that there is a possibility to live on Mars. On the 5th of August of 2012, NASA manufactured the largest robot in history and succeeded in sending it to the surface of Mars, as it took a decade to manufacture it, named Curiosity, to reveal if there was life on a planet Mars or not. Where this robot found lakes and small underground rivers located in a warm climate such as the times of spring, where it's believed that there is an ancient ocean in the middle of northern planet. This explains that there may be good water on Mars, and one of the most controversial questions is how we will be able to reach Mars. So we will take the space flight New Mars of NASA, as it's considered the fastest flight launched from Earth, with a speed of about 58,000 kilometers per hour, and until it reaches Mars, it will take a minimum of 39 days and about 289 days as a maximum. So after we reach Mars, how will we produce our food? Mars requires the same elements necessary for agriculture on Earth, which is water, air, agricultural soil, some fertilizer, and an appropriate amount of light in order for agricultural crops to grow, and that makes us establish private farms on Mars, and it will be a little complicated.
There are high chances to successfully terraform Mars because of its thin atmosphere that already protects the planet from the sun's radiation, could hold oxygen, and become breathable. We could see homes on Mars in the very near future, with the first group blasting off in 2031.
The craft which will take us to the range of Earth's surface will cost $5,000 for the tour, and if going to the outer space it will cost $95,000, and if going on a trip to space it will cost $200,000, and for space adventures and trips which will cost $50 million, which is the ticket for the International Space Station for 12 weightless days around and above the blue curve. And the blue curve is like a device which has an incredible high speed of internet and large storage. From its name, which is a space between planets, and it's not empty, which is like a vacuum, and it has a low density of particles, mainly of plasma of hydrogen and helium, in addition to electromagnetic radiations and magnetic fields. These electromagnetic radiations and fields could affect the human body function, and unfortunately it may cause bones to be weakened.